Fresh questions about President Donald Trump's health are emerging, and importantly, these concerns did not begin with the viral video circulating this week. They began months earlier, in October, when Trump made an unexpected admission that he had undergone an MRI scan at Walter Reed Medical Center. It was a disclosure that immediately raised eyebrows in Washington, not because MRI scans are unusual in healthcare generally, but because they are highly unusual for a sitting US president, and even more unusual when occurring outside of the standard annual medical examination. During an informal exchange aboard Air Force One, Trump casually revealed, "We had an MRI, in the machine, the whole thing."
We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing.
The remark came after his physician described the appointment only as advanced imaging, a vague term that left more questions than answers. When journalists pressed him on why the scan was necessary, Trump deflected, saying, "You could ask the doctors." Yet the White House medical team did not take questions, offered no clarification, and has remained silent ever since. The White House on Wednesday declined to provide specific details of medical images that doctors took of President Donald Trump's body during a physical a month ago, but said the exam showed he was in exceptional health. Trump, 79, had previously disclosed that he underwent a magnetic resonance imaging exam while at Walter Reed Medical Center on October 10, but neither he nor the White House has said which part of his body was scrutinized. That silence mattered. According to multiple medical professionals, the decision to order such imaging almost always follows a specific complaint, symptom, or clinical concern that cannot be identified through standard testing. One specialist noted, "It is highly unusual for a US president to undergo 2 comprehensive medical reviews in 1 year. An MRI is not part of a routine schedule. Something prompted it." This was not speculation from political commentators, it was observation from physicians who understood the protocols around presidential health. Their concerns were amplified further by a separate set of visual cues. Over the past year, the president has repeatedly been seen with large, dark bruises on his hands, noticeably swollen ankles, and had previously been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency, a circulatory condition that can lead to swelling, discoloration, and slower healing. While none of these symptoms alone indicate a severe illness, the combination of them, paired with an unexplained MRI, formed a pattern that medical experts could not easily ignore. And now, with the release of a new video, those earlier concerns have reignited and intensified. The footage, posted on X and viewed more than 1 million times within hours, shows President Trump walking through the White House Presidential Walk of Fame alongside his 9-year-old grandson, Theodore Kushner. On the surface, the moment appeared light-hearted. The pair wore suits, pointed at portraits of former presidents, and tossed an NFL football back and forth as they moved through the corridor. But as millions of viewers quickly noticed, the president's movements told a different story. Take a look at the clip yourself. President Trump appeared unsteady, dragging one leg behind him and taking short, uneven steps. His gait appeared stiff, and at several points he seemed to sway slightly as he shifted his weight. These physical signs, small in isolation, became significant when seen in the context of the earlier MRI. Commentary online was swift and often harsh. Adam Cochran claimed this behaviour was typical of post-stroke patients and people with neurological conditions. He wrote on X, "Just Trump stumbling along with a pigeon-toed gait, common in elderly patients with neurological conditions and post-stroke patients. Totally nothing to see here, I'm sure." Limpy Don, another nickname for the president, while someone else claimed Trump is not well. But it was the analysis from Dr. John Gartner, a clinical psychologist who has studied Trump's behaviour closely over many years, that gave the conversation a more serious tone. Dr. John Gartner suggested that Mr. Trump has repeatedly displayed a diagnostic of frontotemporal dementia. He told the Dean Obadiah show, "If you watch the way he walks, he has what they call a leg swing, where his right, he kind of swings it in a semicircle like it's a dead weight, and he's just kind of swinging it around. It's very apparent in some tape and not so much in others, but that right leg swing is considered to be very diagnostic of a specific type of dementia, frontotemporal dementia." Mr. Gartner emphasised that this is not a random symptom. It's associated with neurological decline that affects the brain's frontal and temporal lobes, the regions responsible for movement, judgment, emotional regulation, and executive function. While Gartner is not Trump's physician and cannot make a formal diagnosis, his observations added a layer of credibility to the concerns that were already circulating. Dr. Gartner has consistently raised concerns about Trump's health. Take a look at this clip.
And one of the things that I'd like to point out is I believe his doctors who have examined him know that this is not within normal limits. And I think the information that has leaked out is enough for us to conclude that they know he has organic cognitive decline. Two pieces of information came out since I think the last time I was on the show. We knew he had this second presidential annual physical. They said they did advanced imaging. Okay, well, Trump said not once, not twice, but 3 times that he had took cognitive tests, plural. Okay, so not just a screening exam like the MOCA, they gave him multiple tests. Okay, we do not give people multiple cognitive tests unless we suspect there's a serious cognitive problem.
Despite this, President Trump has repeatedly insisted that he is in excellent health. After the October MRI, he described his results as some of the best reports for the age and claimed that doctors had given him some of the best reports they've ever seen. He also cited that MOCA cognitive test, often used to detect cognitive impairment, saying once again that it was a very hard IQ test, despite the fact that the MOCA is not designed to measure IQ and is scored out of 30 points. The White House attempted to reinforce this narrative. Dr. Sean Barbabella, one of the president's physicians, stated that Trump's annual health assessment was exceptional, noting that the president's cardiac age was allegedly approximately 14 years younger than his chronological age. But for many observers, the public assurances have not resolved the questions because the underlying facts remain unchanged. The president underwent unscheduled advanced imaging. He has exhibited repeated visual symptoms that are difficult to ignore, such as dark bruises on his hands, noticeably swollen ankles, and he now appears in footage showing visible gait irregularities that medical experts describe as potentially meaningful. The complexity of all of this is that presidential health is both a personal and public matter. The White House has historically walked a fine line between transparency and discretion. Some administrations have revealed more, others have revealed far less. The heightened scrutiny surrounding presidential health is in many ways an outgrowth of what happened during the tenure of Joe Biden. His presidency, marked by his advanced age, visible physical and cognitive moments, and the ongoing challenges of transparency, set new expectations of how the public views a leader's fitness for office. Because of Biden's visible struggles and the coverage they received, the public is now far more alert when a president shows signs of decline. When Biden took office in January 2021 at age 78, he became the oldest president in US history. That fact alone opened a spotlight on his health and stamina from the very beginning. Through his term, a series of incidents, such as complex health reports, a wary press, and viral video clips of stumbles or gaffes, began to shape a narrative of deterioration. For instance, physicians writing about Biden expressed concerns about his symptoms might extend beyond normal aging and could warrant a neurological evaluation. Take a look at this article from The New Yorker from July 2024. From the moment that Joe Biden announced his candidacy for president in 2019, he has been attacked as being too old. At the time, Biden was 76 and cast himself as a transitional figure, a bridge to the next generation. Since then, he has governed admirably, passing more meaningful legislation than almost anyone thought possible with flimsy Democratic majorities in Congress. But in the past year, concerns about his fitness have gained traction and credibility. Staff, donors, and elected officials have divulged mental lapses. In February, the special counsel Robert Hur labelled the president a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory in a report about Biden's handling of classified documents. Last month, with more than 50 million Americans watching, Biden delivered one of the worst presidential debate performances in history, stumbling over numbers and words, losing his train of thought, and struggling to finish sentences. Moreover, there were several viral moments. A widely shared clip of him stumbling up the stairs of Air Force One in 2021, a speech in which he ended with the unrelated phrase, "God save the Queen, man," in 2023, and a number of press conference appearances where his delivery seemed halting. These moments chimed with larger concerns. Within his own party, some figures began asking whether he should continue running for re-election. Concerns over age, appearance, and performance became central. In short, Biden's presidency changed the baseline. What previously might have just been written off as just old or a bad moment began to be seen as red flags. When a president in his late 70s or early 80s appears off balance, stumbles, shows a stiff gait, or has moments of disorientation, the public now tends to interpret that not simply as aging, but as part of a possible pattern of decline. The question becomes, is this normal for age or is it meaningful? Because of Biden's case, the threshold for suspicion is lowered. People are quicker to ask. What makes the current situation unique is the combination of visible physical symptoms and unexplained MRI and viral clips that public can analyse in real time. The result is a growing sense of uncertainty. The public is left navigating fragments of information, brief statements, partial explanations, and ambiguous videos, and trying to make sense of them in full absence of transparency. What is clear, however, is that the discussion surrounding Donald Trump's health has not faded. It's grown louder. It's gained more attention. And with each new clip, each new public appearance, and each new moment where something seems slightly off, the questions continue to mount. In the months ahead, as scrutiny of the president intensifies, it is likely that this conversation will become an even more central part of the national dialogue. For now, though, one fact stands above the speculation. This is not the first time concerns have surfaced, and given the latest footage, it almost certainly will not be the last.